Hey, what's happening, gang? Well, yesterday I posted the video about the Dixon. I got it stripped down, got everything yanked off of it that was salvageable, and sent it on over to my neighbor to have him scrap it and pull a couple other parts off that I want to keep. But what else is going on? Well, I showed you the Murray. I also pulled the Murray in, stripped out the 16 horse opposed Oppie twin, and I'm getting ready to put a 14.5 horse in. But before I do that, I've got to break out the pressure washer, and pressure washer is going to clean the Murray and clean the engine. And then, in other news, this is a dresser drawer runner. See that dresser over there is dresser drawer runner, and my ex-wife got a hold of me about 5 years ago, asked me if I could replicate this, so I made her this about 5 years ago, and you can see it's wearing really well. It's doing really good. It's a piece of aspen, so it's pretty soft wood, and well, she's redoing those dressers. They were her childhood dressers. They are now her youngest daughter's, Alana's, and she needs 4 more. Actually, she just needs 3 more. So I'm going to make 4, and instead of using aspen, it's kind of a soft wood. When I was remodeling and refurbishing my 2 former rooms in the house, I bought 3 pieces of 1 1/8 inch thick oak, and this one was a spare because I was able to salvage one of the windowsills, so that is going to turn into the new drawer runners. But you see this sheet, of course the top for Calamity here, that underneath that sheet, believe it or not, in that small little space, is compound miter saw, router, surface planer, table saw, radial arm saw. So all that stuff's packed in here. I've got my bar clamps over there, and this black cabinet here has all my other woodworking tools in it. So Calamity will get moved out, Clifford will get moved out, and the garage will get converted into the woodworking station. And I did that here a while back because the tools in the shop just started overpowering on the mechanical end, and decided to move the woodworking equipment out here. It makes it a lot easier for me to set up and, you know, not have to dust everything up out there. So out here in the garage, it's no big deal. I just pull vehicles out, and I've got a full canvas floor that I can set up however I want to set up. So when I get started doing those, if it happens today or tomorrow, I'll set the camera up and let you guys watch me do a little bit of my woodworking as well. I don't know how many people out there know that I do woodworking, but it should be relatively obvious that I've got enough talent, I guess, to replicate things. I've made furniture, and well, I'm not gonna sit here and brag on myself, but I was a premier finish trim carpenter for a number of years. Funny story. I was working at Delco Remy. Well, you can hear the Poulon running out there. Working at Delco Remy, and I was working between 80 and 110 hours a week. And in my spare time, I was remodeling houses, installing new finish trim, and refinishing floors, and just doing all kinds of stuff like that. So it was a time. I was a workaholic. I mean, a bad workaholic. I'd sleep 4 or 5 hours a night, and I did this for months on end. And I think that ultimately was my demise with my health, my physical health, my neck and my back and my shoulders. I just wore everything out real early on in life, so I move a little slower now. But one quick funny little story about these. I made this one, like I say, about, I don't know, 5, 6 years ago, and it has fared well. But her husband, when she told him that she was going to have me make some more for those dressers, he goes, "Well, I can make them. Why don't you just let me make them?" And her reply was just one for the record books. She said, and I quote, "Well, I kind of want it done this year." So, poor kid. He, I'm 6 years older than my ex-wife, and he's a few years younger than my ex-wife, and it's just, I don't know, it's kind of funny. You know, she leans on me for mechanical stuff, and that's okay. We just didn't get along good as husband and wife, but we're really good friends. So I'm all too happy to help her out and get these made for her, and just stick a little thorn in her husband's side just because I'm ornery that way sometimes. But anyway, when I get everything broke out here and get all the tools laid out, you guys will see both my table saw and my radial arm saw are vintage, and I absolutely love them. They are wonderful. I mean wonderful. I've got a really old Craftsman radial arm saw, and then a really old Delta cast iron table saw. They're certainly not, I mean, they're contractor grade. They're not, big wood shop grade stuff, but I can pretty much do anything I need to do with what little I've got here in the corner. In fact, what's here is all I've used over the years with just about everything that I've done. So anyway, that's just a quick little 7-minute and 30-second update on what's going to be going on today. I'll get that pressure washer out, and I'll end up being covered head to toe with yucky splatter. But I'll get that Murray cleaned up, get the engine installed, get things wired up. Going from a twin to a single is not that difficult for anybody who has just about any kind of riding mower. Sorry, we're going over 7 minutes 30 seconds because I babble. When you're switching from a single cylinder to a twin, a lot of people question, well, is this engine going to bolt up? I mean, it's a totally different engine. The answer is yes. There's usually multiple holes already pre-stamped in the frames of your riding mowers to accept a variety of different engines. So this one's no different. That Murray is actually equipped for Tecumseh engines and Briggs singles and Briggs twins. So, and I've made those switches before. But one thing that I am going to be contending with is the Briggs that is going in there has an AC alternator with a regulator rectifier that I have to rewire to work and charge the battery on the Murray with the new engine. But no big deal. But it's going to go right over here to this house. Now, in this little shed, I don't know if you guys see the two shed doors here to the left, sits an old, and I mentioned it yesterday, an old LT12 lawn boy that has been passed around from neighbor to neighbor and neighbor, and it's met its end. So I'll get it. I'll keep the transaxle. It's got a real good Peerless 5-speed transaxle. Well, as good as they can be. Good 5-speed Peerless transaxle, and the engine's good. It's just the steering's all wore out. The engagement for the deck is at its end. There's just too many wore out parts to keep messing with it. So we're going to close this out before 10 minutes hit. This is Zippo. I will catch all of you later. I'm out. Well, gang, just finished up with the pressure washer. Got myself all covered in gunk, but we got the Murray all cleaned up and ready to transplant the engine. Everything's power washed. I really like that color. power washed the deck, top and bottom side, got all the grass out of it. Spindles seem to be spinning free, and they do have grease zerks, so of course I'll be greasing them and sharpening the blades. Belt looks decent, so we may go ahead and keep it. I see one bad spot. And then we skip on over to the engine that's going in this. Now remember, we had the twin in here. Twin out. And there's a 14.5 single. That's going to be going in its place. Got it all cleaned up and degreased. So we'll pop the electric clutch off and the upper pulley, drive pulley off, and then put the stock pulley, which by the way has the same shaft diameter and keyway off the twin as this single, so not going to be an issue for fitment, and the alignment should be about the same too. We'll be sure to check on that. But there she is in all of her burgundy glory. It's just a shame the nose cone's missing on that hood, but we'll figure that one out later. Like I said, they don't care if it's pretty or not, they just want it functional, and I'm all too happy to help them out. So this is what paying it forward is. $0 out of my pocket, nothing but my time, and after we get everything all together, we'll do a quick little test mow with it, make sure it's going to behave okay. Then off it'll go to the new neighbors. So there you have it. That's what Zippo does around here. Helps everybody out. Paying it forward, paying it forward. Alright, say hi to the old landlord, the squire, and a fat ass engine 44. I'll show you something real quick on engine 44. I don't know if I've shown it before on video. Engine 44, the story, those of you who've watched the videos, they know the story. And engine 44 officially now has a 911 e-communications badge. I don't know, like I say, I don't remember if I've shown that before or not. So anyway, there we go. That's it. Zippo's done babbling. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Later. I'm out.